So y'all know most criminals do their dirty work in the middle of the night. While we were sleeping last night, Donald Trump and the United States military, in coordination with Bibi Netanyahu and Israel, bombed Iran. So we are now at war again. I want to remind y'all what Stephen Miller told the masses back in October 2024. Kamala will send your sons to war. He also tweeted, Kamala to Michigan, vote for me and we'll draft your kids and send them to war in the Middle East. He also tweeted, to anyone still gullible enough to fall for scummy media hoaxes, Trump said warmongering neocons love sending your kids to die for wars. They would never fight themselves. Liz Cheney is Kamala's top advisor. Liz wants to invade the whole Middle East. Kamala equals World War III. Trump equals peace. He also tweeted, this isn't complicated. If you vote for Kamala, Liz Cheney becomes defense secretary. We invade a dozen countries. Boys in Michigan are drafted to fight boys in the Middle East. Millions die. We invade Russia. We invade nations in Asia. World War III, nuclear winter. That's what Stephen Miller told millions of people, millions of voters. And millions of people, millions of voters fell for Stephen Miller's bullshit, because this is what we're waking up to today.
So even while we've been on air, this has continued to escalate. So we talked about all the different countries that have been attacked by Iran so far. Just in the last few moments, the French news agency AFP is reporting explosions near the U.S. consulate in Erbil. Reuters reporting another wave of attacks against installations, U.S. military installations in Qatar. An Iranian official, a senior Iranian official, the head of the National Security Commission, and I'm quoting, he said that a regional war has now started. And Israeli media, quoting Israeli officials, say that so far 35 ballistic missiles have been fired at Israel just today, just since Israel and the United States began these preemptive strikes. We've also been able to get in touch with a few people in Iran. There is a lot of confusion, a lot of concern, a lot of panic in the city right now. There is a great deal of traffic. The government is issuing guidance telling people that they should, if they can, get out of Tehran.
I know there are several of you out there that understand how government works that are saying, but Tabitha, doesn't Congress have to approve war? You're absolutely right. Congress has to approve war. Donald Trump doesn't care about the rules. He doesn't care about the laws. And he did not include Congress in his decision to buddy up with Benjamin Netanyahu to attack Iran. Thomas Massey tweeted, acts of war unauthorized by Congress. The U.S. is attacking Iran, according to the Associated Press. So this war is an illegal war. But what should we expect when you put a con man criminal who is beholden to Bibi Netanyahu, probably because of the e-files, when you put his puppet into the White House, What do you expect? Anywho, Donald Trump did call a press conference to let the American people know what it is that he decided. Here's a snippet of it.
The United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime. Iran refused, just as it has for decades and decades. They've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions, and we can't take it anymore. We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated. We're going to annihilate their navy. We're going to ensure that the region's terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region or the world and attack our forces, and no longer use their IEDs or roadside bombs, as they are sometimes called, to so gravely wound and kill thousands and thousands of people, including many Americans. And we will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. It's a very simple message. My administration has taken every possible step to minimize the risk to U.S. personnel in the region. Even so, and I do not make this statement lightly, the Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future.
I found it interesting that during his speech, he stated that for years or decades, Iran has been saying death to America, because it explained why this tweet is now viral. This tweet is all over Threads and it's all over Twitter. And now I understand why. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that name, calls for the death of President Donald Trump. Quote, "Let me clarify something for the leaders of the United States. The phrase death to America means death to Trump and his team, not to the American people." End quote. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, this isn't new. This was said some years ago, and now I guess it's viral because of the situation that's currently at hand. Yeah, y'all believed a lying criminal who's been conning people for decades, who is also a convicted criminal. Y'all believed him when he told you that he was going to be the peace president, knowing that he was Putin's puppet and he was buddy-buddy with Benjamin Netanyahu. Y'all believed the people that were around him, who were liars and menaces to this country in 2016, when they told y'all that Kamala was going to be the same as Donald Trump. Here we are on the precipice of World War III. And you've got people who voted for Donald Trump 3 times, who are now being affected by this Trump regime, that are now waking up from this haze, this trance that they have been in. And they are devastated, and equally upset because the left will not welcome them with open arms. Check this out.
You know, I thought it would be easier the more I talked about leaving MAGA, being a 3-time Trump voter. But I have to be completely honest with you that it's not getting easier, and it actually feels like it's getting more difficult. Because because I'm gaining more empathy. And I don't think people really realize how counterintuitive the hate that I receive when you can take one look at my page and see that I am doing the work. I read a comment this morning that I'm not stitching because I don't want hate to come our way. But you'll understand why I'm reading it. I've been deconstructing from Christianity and left MAGA. I do not speak about it because the hate you receive from the left is no different from the hate you received when you were in the cult. I'm just minding my own business and rewiring my whole belief system. What people don't understand is how hard it is to actually wake up and realize your entire life has been a lie, and now you have to start over from scratch. I'm not going to allow any negativity from anyone into my life. It's hard enough to do this. I can't see. I had to stop and gather myself. Not only that, I'm not going to be a part of any political party or religion ever again. So the expectation of the left thinking we have to vote blue now in order to make amends or something is not something I want to be a part of. The amount of "I'll never forgive you" I see in your last video is enough for me to never try to speak up on anything that's happened to get me here. My entire family is deep Southern conservative Christian Republicans. It's been buried into my whole system since birth. Seeing my truth and removing myself from it has been the hardest thing I've ever done. I don't really know what else to say other than, I don't think that this is what the left wants. You've been shouting for people to wake up for years, and people do. And you just want to harp on, and I get it, that it didn't happen soon enough. And I don't believe that. I can't believe that. I have too much hope in my soul to roll over and die. I don't know what the solution is, but I know it's not to beat people while they're already down.
Remember, I told y'all that I'm back in therapy, and I had a therapy appointment on yesterday. I wish I would have had that bad boy today because, anyway, I told y'all one of the things that I'm dealing with, what's bothering me most, well, not most, but what's bothering me is my lack of empathy and sympathy. I have no empathy. I feel no sympathy towards this woman. First of all, the unmitigated gall she has to place any type of blame onto the left for her not being able to deal with coming out of her fog, leaving this cult. These people have caused serious harm to not just people on the left, to people on the right as well. People within MAGA, even though they don't realize it. They have caused serious harm. For over a decade, they've relished, they've taunted, they've been a menace to people on the left. They voted for this man 3 times to cause harm to other people. People have died, and she has the unmitigated gall to get in front of her camera phone with her tears to place a lot of the weight on the left because they are not welcoming her with open arms, because they are holding her accountable, because they are telling her that she has caused harm with her vote. I don't respect people like her. I've been watching a lot of people over on YouTube who use their platforms to talk about how they left MAGA, right? I'm not jumping for joy for these people. I don't have any empathy or sympathy for these people. But you know what? These people that I'm watching, they aren't asking for empathy and sympathy. They aren't asking for people from the left to welcome them with open arms. They know they have caused harm. You know what they are doing? They are standing in it. They take all of the comments with stride. They are seeking therapy to find out why they were over in this cult. They are taking ownership. Those people I can at least respect. I don't want nothing to do with them because I can't trust them. But I can at least respect them from afar. Because they are standing in it. They are doing the work to find out why they were in this cult. They are doing the work to educate other people. Period. They aren't running. That comment that she read of the woman talking about she's not going to do this, she's not going to be a part of this party, going to be a part of... She is a fucking runner. She's running from accountability instead of standing in it and trying to make fucking change. Do the work. Those of you who are in MAGA and are waking up and trying to separate yourself and realizing that you have caused harm, instead of looking to someone to welcome you with open arms, do the fucking work. Be the change that you need to be to make this world better. I don't have to welcome you with open arms. You've caused harm. People have fucking died. People are starving. People can't eat. They're not even living paycheck to paycheck. They are living in debt, waiting to be thrown out into the streets. Can't put fucking food on the table. Can't feed their fucking children because it was all fun and games when he was lying to you. It was all fun and games when he was telling you that he was going to harm other people. We don't have to accept you with open arms. We can tell you that you've caused harm. We can say to you that we don't trust you and we don't want to be around you. We can say that. Period. I'm going to get on my couch and I'm going to try to enjoy the rest of my Saturday. To all of you military parents out there whose children are being sent over to fight this war for Donald Trump and Bibi Netanyahu, your children are in my prayers. Comment down below your thoughts and I'll see y'all later.